Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Lula. Hi, Loretta Antisovsky.
Gary's back. Love that.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hi, Boo.
Oh, Karla, I love your
I'm
outfit.
making zoodles.
Ah,
Hi,
wow,
Audrey.
that's you, Meghan, right? On Paula?
Yeah.
I
The red
love
one,
it.
right, Francesca?
Wow.
Wow, beautiful.
Hi, caller and everybody.
hi, Paul.
Dad.
Hi.
Mariska. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. We like to give everybody a minute to get here. Feel
Okay,
free
next
to
time.
unmute and say hello until then.
There I am.
Marilyn, is Jamie around?
Yeah, James, come say hi. He's coming
Artist sister and niece.
before they shut us all.
Hi, Debbie.
Marilyn, I don't know if you remember me from when you were little.
Jamie.
Who's talking? Wait,
Hi,
you can say
Papa.
Mary.
You're gonna watch this or not? I'm here for you.
Oh,
You have a little, let me see, put it in.
It's not even mine. I've been staying at my friend's house while her husband drove to Florida to see his sick sister, and she has cancer. So I've been walking the dog. I don't even have pets. I've been walking the dog for 5 days, and it's my new best friend.
aw.
But we've had a night. We're making mask chains, but I took a time off to come do this. So
Oh, cool,
be
thank
fun.
you.
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, I love her jewelry. So I went, yeah, this has got to be something fun. There's so many, there's so many virtual opportunities these days for all these art shows, and this is the first one I decided to tune into.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's fun.
Welcome.
Lucky
Hi,
us.
Loretta.
All right, it looks like it's slowed down on the slew of people coming in, so I think we should probably get started. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. We do love seeing your faces, so if you don't have your camera on and you're willing to, we'd love for you to turn it on. You can usually do that at the bottom of your screen. Also at the bottom of your screen is a chat box. If you click chat, you'll be able to send us messages, tell us where you're coming from. We'd love for you to put that in the chat. I know we have Hawaii here. We have, all over the place. We've even had Israel and the Netherlands before. So it's really fun to see where everybody's coming from. And you can also let us know if you have questions, and we'll do our best to answer them during the party. And if not, we'll answer them during the open chat at the end. We do want to just let you know that if we have any major technical difficulties and the party ends abruptly, that we will email you a new link, and we'll also post the new link as an updated link to our homepage at artpartycentral.org. We don't expect that to happen, but you just never know. So we'd like to be prepared. Now that all that technical stuff is out of the way, we do like to start our parties with a bit of a cheers, a welcome to being together and a Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Cheers.
I poured the real stuff.
Hell yeah. It's 5 o'clock, so.
Real coffee.
I
Uh-oh.
have real wine now. That's
Real
okay.
wine.
And on that fabulous note, we are going to mute everybody, which is just Zoom protocol, so that our artists can, oh, I love that mug too, or Sherry, so that our artists can not be disrupted during their presentation. So go ahead, Sam. All right. In case you don't know me, I'm Laura Candell. I'm very excited to be here as your host. And I come to Art Party Central from the contemporary craft show world, where I was a show promoter for almost 17 years. I now do a variety of other things, including work with Art Party Central. And I have a craft and design blog on Instagram called Modern Handmade Design. Check it out. I have a lot of fun making that happen. And even for me, having been in this industry forever, coming to these parties, I get to meet new makers I've never met before. And I find out so much about the ones that I do know, but apparently didn't know at all. So it's really fun, and we're really glad that you're here. I did want to give a little shout out to my co-host for the evening, Sam Stone from Swan and Stone Millinery. She's helping me co-host. She's the admin in the chat, so if you need anything, she can help you. And her website is swanandstone.com. Give it a check out because they make incredible hats. Enough about me, though. Let me tell you about the incredible artists we have with us tonight. We have Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design. We have Francesca Vitali from Francesca Vitali Paper Jewelry. Audrey Young from AudreyModern. Monique Rancourt from Monique Rancourt Jewelry. Scott Peronich from Internal Fireglass, and Meghan Patrice Riley from Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry. And Karla and Meghan are actually two of the co-creators of Art Party Central, along with Sam Stone and her partner Nora Swan, and Kathleen Tesnakis from Ecologic. Let me tell you how today's party is going to go. Each of the 6 artists will give a presentation. Then if time allows, I'll ask them 1 or 2 questions that were previously submitted. And at the end of the party, we will raffle off a $50 gift certificate for each of the artists' websites. So that's 6 chances to win just for hanging out with us tonight, which I think is really exciting. You do have to be present to win, so make sure to stick around. We will also give you a special discount code at the end of the party, which will be good for all 6 of the artists' websites as well. And then after all of that fun, we will let everybody unmute, and we'll chat and try on things that we didn't get to try on, and see more and answer questions and just have a good time. It is Saturday night after all. So let's get to the fun stuff. Our first artist this evening is Karla Gudeon. Karla, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be at this party with all these other talented artists and to be a part of Art Party Central. And I am the owner and creator behind Karla Gudeon Art and Design. And my primary product is original art for the home. And I work hard to make gorgeous, affordable work that's all hand done, but that will fuel you both at crazy, stressful times like this, but also for all time that you can look at and be proud to have in your house. All my work, I came to this a roundabout way. I was an art school student who got scared and left and became a school teacher. And then when there were way too many children in my life between my students and my own kids, I went back to my art and I self-taught an old school method of printmaking called engraving. So all of my works start off with a metal plate. Here's an actual magnesium plate, and I'm hoping you can see that the lines are carved into the plate. So instead of printmaking where you roll ink and stamp down, the ink has to go inside the lines, the surface has to be wiped, and then I pull it through my press. And once I pull it through my press, I get my outline. And this is how all the work behind me is done, everything. And so I love this embossment where the metal has pushed into the handmade paper, and the finished product is an original watercolor in a frame. So even those dark solid opaques that I use are all original watercolor. And I'm going to show you one more example of that, because one of the things I decided I really needed to talk about tonight was the women in my life. I think as this pandemic is on the rise again, and all of us are feeling unsettled, and it's going to be a different Thanksgiving than we ever had before. When I was thinking about gratitude, I was thinking that I'm really leaning into the women friendships in my life. A friend of mine recently said, I just feel like our friendship's on fire. And I feel like I'm just the luckiest person in the world to have parents alive, sisters, friends like no other. So a lot of what I do focuses on women. So I'd like to show you a bigger plate for one of my large scale images. And this is a larger scale magnesium plate. I like the pattern on pattern thing I was going for. I happen to be looking, usually I look at East Indian folk art. This time, I think I was influenced by the Obama portrait by Kehinde Wiley with the pattern on pattern work. And I don't have one in a frame, but I actually have one painted that I can show you because a customer recently ordered it. And this is the finished piece from that plate. I don't know if we can get the whole thing in there. But one of my favorite things to do is to customize hair, eye, and skin tone. So sometimes there'll be black women, white women, blonde, brunettes. My favorite thing is to know who I'm making this for and do it specifically for them. In the Little Ones series, the hand painted, I have a ton of women images besides the RBG you saw. And for best friends and mother, daughters, and sisters, a great holiday gift is You're Never Alone. I love giving this gift. I even inscribe little messages at the bottom, and whether you're a 2-girl or a 3-girl setup, I think that's great. Other celebratory pieces like that are Girls' Night Out and It Takes a Village People. So if you think someone needs something lighthearted, there's definitely that. And even, I think even cuter is Where My Girl's At. So we've got girlfriend chickens. One thing I wasn't sure I could do for a long time was portraits. But as you can see, RBG's my hero. I received a personal thank you card from her a year ago, but I've really expanded what I've done with the portraits, and I have to other strong women. And I have Michelle Obama. And because she is having such a moment, I have had Dolly Parton in my collection way before recent news that she gave $1 million to the discovery of the vaccine. I had her because of what she's done for literacy, and also because she like flaunts her boobs. So I think she's terrific. And I feel like, I knew that. I have Frida Kahlo. I have the environmentalist Greta Thunberg, and another super body positive hero of mine, I have my Lizzo. Laura, did you have any questions for me?
I do have a couple questions. Actually, a great question that I was thinking that also just came into the chat, which I'm going to throw at you unexpectedly, is do you and how do you engrave the metal?
So I still sometimes engrave the metal, and that is with an industrial diamond tipped stylus pen. And when I do that, I engrave it into zinc. More and more lately, I do a drawing in what's called a micron pen. It's the newer equivalent of what used to be called a rapidograph. It's a needle sharp pen that I can do incredible fine line drawings. And then I scan it, and it is photo etched for me in New Hampshire into magnesium, but I supervise the process. And that is how I get some of my more intricate plates done more to my liking.
Such an interesting process. And I'm so glad it was asked, because I've been wondering for weeks now.
But I do hand tool. And when I hand tool, the funny thing is because I'm a lefty, I don't get to hand tool the way everyone else would with graphite, and you lift it up and then you trace over your lines, because when I do that, I smear all my lines. So I can only do it like about a 1-inch square at a time, then put the paper down and do it again, because otherwise I mess up my whole drawing. The problem of being a lefty.
Yes. I was going to say one of the many problems. I don't know. I'm not a lefty. I can't speak to it. My dad and my sister are, though.
When I went to art school, when I went to Parsons, there was a majority of lefty to righties. So I do think there's something to be said for that different side of the brain and thinking differently as a creative.
I totally agree. My sister has a degree in fine art painting, so that tells you right there.
Yeah.
So my other question is, do you make anything with your artwork other than your original paintings?
I do. More and more, I've wanted to accommodate younger people. I've had a slew of people recently asking if they could use my designs for tattoos. And then I've also wanted to accommodate budgets and people that want to give a lot of gifts, and so they need something more. So I do coasters, notebooks, but I'll focus on the women because that's what we're doing. By the way, they all come super cute. This like I was made for you tag and everything. But this is my women's coaster set. It comes in a box set of 4. And they're Italian marble, and they have cork on the back so they won't scratch your surface. And this is the Dolly Frida, Michelle, and RBG set. But I also sell them as singles, and as additional singles, I have the climate activist Greta Thunberg and Lizzo. And in my notebooks, I have lined, "Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, may we raise them" notebooks. And in card sets, I have for everyone that wants to empower their friends and send them a Strong Women card set with 5 empowering message. This is my Strong Women set. And then for those that are in a cheekier mood, we have the Naughty Feminist note card set with a different set of messages right in there.
That's me, girl. I have a collection of that kind of thing, so I'm gonna have to get
Yeah.
me.
I got my spunk on. I had a dirty Jewish grandma.
Thank you so much, Karla.
Thank you, Laura. This was so much fun.
So
Can't
much
wait to hear everybody else.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to Francesca Vitali.
Hi. Hi, welcome to Rochester, New York, where my studio is. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited to have you here, to be having a toast at 5:30 on a Saturday evening. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, and then we'll go to my jewelry. I'm Italian, I'm a chemist, and I came here in US and completely changed my life and became a paper jewelry artist, which was actually, it's funny because while Karla was talking, I realized that we have a lot in common in the opposite direction. So I always wanted to go to art school, but I couldn't. And so I went to chemistry and then went back. So it kind of, and then I'm not a lefty, but I'm dyslexic. So I'm using both sides of my brain. Okay, that's it about myself. And so what I do, I weave paper strips that I cut myself into three-dimensional sculptural objects that are wearable objects, and all the pieces are coated with acrylic medium, which means basically there is a plastic layer over the paper that kind of protects it from the weather, body oils. It makes it really durable. But at the same time, you know, one of the best things about paper are the colors that are, it's a medium that you can have it in other metals or things like that. So vibrant colors. And I lost my train of thought, and I know a lot of paper. A lot about paper, but anyway, everything. Yes, the lightweight. I forgot about lightweight. Yes, every piece is really lightweight, and that's the only thing I can show you on a Zoom meeting. But believe me, yeah. So being today my first time here, I wanted to show you basically as many collections as I can, but I'll go through earrings mainly because right now on Zoom, so this is where we are going. And the first collection that I want to show you is the red, black, and white, which is, I'm cutting a little bit. Yeah, here.
Perfect.
Also, I want to give a shout out to my brooches here, because these are genderless. So you can, in case you have somebody in your life and want to wear a brooch, and so these are your things. So the first earrings are the Penelope earrings. They are very sculptural, and let me put one up here. Yeah, Debbie knows about them, right, Debbie? And they come, so you can, here there is also, let me get this one. So they are asymmetric, so you can go red and white or black and white, but in different direction, the stripes. Of course, you can also get them in the same, so symmetrical. Next classical collection is the black and gold leaf. So here is that. And also I wanted to share with you the smaller version that I just came up with. So a little smaller. It's just a dot of elegance on your ears. I just made it up and I like it. I have to write it down, this one. But yes, this one, I also want to point out, these are clip-ons. I make a lot of clip-ons. And talking about clip-ons, let's go to the next. These clip-ons here, and these are one of my best sellers. So what's really fun about this is that they come apart. And so you can wear them short, long, or in this case, the back is one color, so you can mix and match. With one pair of earrings, you get 3 or 4, and you just play around. And I like to say all the time that I like to make things and then I like that you style them in different ways. Now, during quarantine, I decided to go out of my box or my comfort zone and start working with some colors. And these were the most colorful. So I managed to put 4 colors in one pair of earrings. And also for this one, you have the same idea. You can wear them in different ways. So they have one side is pink, one side is pink, one side is red. Also, you can wear them like this, so dangling, or you can push them all the way back and see you have more of a blade and you see more of the color here rather than the red or the pink. And then, what was the other one? How am I going with time? Can I show the last one?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so there's a little backstory for this one. During quarantine also, except for color, I also needed an extra. So I've been eating a lot of chocolate. And so with this chocolate comes the paper, so it's work, right? No, I'm guilty. I'm a chocolate addict. And I decided to make something out of that, which is a pair of earrings that comes from the same another wrapper, many chocolate bars later. And so these are the new earrings. And I also have the brooch. So yeah, these are the pieces that I wanted to show you. And yeah, no, Laura, tell me if you have any questions. I couldn't follow the chat. So if there are any questions, I can.
Oh, no, that's fine. You should just be talking. You shouldn't be looking at the chat. I think the question that I have for you is, can you use, like, if I had paper, if I had like my wedding invitation or something else, that would you be able to make something out of that?
Absolutely. And actually, you know what? Paper anniversary is the first year. So, and yours is coming up.
Sadly, we didn't even know it was paper.
But no, actually, it's funny you asked me that because about the wedding, because I have done pieces for with wedding invitation. Actually, completely forgot about that. Yeah, but I have, yes. Basically, the answer is yes. I can use any kind of paper. I rather use like thin paper, but any kind of paper. I can fold it and weave it, cut it, weave it, fold it, and make it into. I can take a memory of whatever you like or you don't like and make it into a wearable piece. And I love to do that. It's an honor for me to work with somebody's memory and make it into a wearable piece. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And then I'm going to ask you to show me one more necklace, because we've seen the necklace on your beautiful neck, but can you show me I'm pointing at my screen, like you can see where I'm pointing, the blue necklace at the top?
Oh yeah.
We haven't seen any of that line, so.
Yes, this one. So the black and gold leaf, it's actually one of my classic, and I wanted to expand on the color. So on that line. And so this is the
oh yeah.
The name of this piece is actually abbraccio, which in Italian, it means ag, because that's what it is. It's an ag around your neck, and it's fun to style it in different ways. So you can go very asymmetric, and actually even like that. So you have all my pieces have this characteristic of having different ways of wearing it, and I want to show you the color because this blue is amazing. And just a backstory, paper and blue it's not really easy. If you check like magazines, you don't very often see blue, because blue in paper, it's not easy to reach a good blue. Let's put it this way. So when I found a good blue in paper, I decided that was the time to start a blue line.
I remember seeing your Instagram stories about that. You like came out with a fan of different blues, and you were like, I found the one.
Oh yeah, and actually sorry about that. I also, because right now we are all about Zooms and so this is also a lot of things that I do. If somebody has a custom piece of work, I normally, because I have a collection of so many colors. You can text me and we can go through pieces and color and find exactly the color that you want through. Yes, so that's absolutely something that I do, and I wanted to point out that. Also, I have a new website, so if not everything you see here is there, just you can text me, email me, DM on Instagram, anything you want, and I'll put it there. I'm adding new pieces as we go. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Francesca. We're going to send it over to Audrey. There you go.
All right. Hi, I'm Audrey Jung here for AudreyModern from San Francisco, California. I make a line of handbags and accessories out of wool felt and leather. Been doing for about 10 years. I like to tell a little quick backstory. This is not, if someone had told me that I would be making handbags and people would be buying them from me, I would have told you were nuts. By profession, actually, this is my 40th year as a dental hygienist. And at this point in time, I work 1 day a week still in the dental office. So obviously this comes from somewhere else in my brain. I started making some handbags and tote bags out of canvas, upholstery fabrics for myself and friends. And then one day I found something that was made out of this wool felt, and I was really intrigued by it. And so it took me a while to decide, but I finally broke down, bought 1 yard of this wool felt in a gray color. That was about 10 years ago, but fast forward 10 years, this is what happened. So now I make this line of handbags. They are, I should mention that they're actually unisex. A lot of the bags, the backpack, for example, over here, on this bag over here, the sidecar bag, I have sold to both men and women. As you can see, my bags are very, I call them, simple, modern, very clean looking designs. And I'm all about the hardware and the hardware. So like, for example, on this bag, this little hardware, this little clasp, you'll find those on sailing boats. I buy it from a sailing company. And this bag has a very unique, it's magnetic, but you can't open it because you have to pull down and it goes right in. I also make a line of accessories made out of wool felt. One of the most popular are these, I call them Mod Pods. As you can see, they have colored zippers, and they're great for storing your accessories in the bags or whatever you're carrying. And these make great little holiday gifts. Another great holiday gift is these are what I call your toaster coasters. They're coasters made out of wool felt, a set of 4, and they're shaped like toast. Also great little gifts. And I also make a line of, these are wool felt bowls, 3 sizes, small, medium, large. You can buy them separately or as in a set. These I found to be great, great housewarming gifts for people. Very useful. And along that line is also, I call it a felt tray. I have this in my living room, and we put it on the coffee table, and I put all my remotes in it. And just to not waste any of the leftover pieces of felt, these little things shaped like a taco are called taco ties, and they keep all of your cords nice and handy. These are also great little gifts, great little stocking stuffers. Any questions?
Yeah, we did have some questions. I think there have been a few questions about seeing the inside of a couple of the bags. You want to show the inside of one of the backpacks and maybe the red boxcar?
Oh, okay, sure. All right, so this one, it's got little feet on the bottom, and the inside, it's got leather. Leather around the side and then felt around the other side, down the bottom. And it comes with a removable strap, so you can wear it if you like, or you can just hold it like a little handbag.
Are they easy to clean? How do you keep them clean?
They're very durable. So if you get a spot on them, each bag comes with a little card that says how to care for your wool felt bag.
Oh.
A lightly damp sponge, a little bit of drop of some Dawn or something, and then you gently, wipe it and then dry it off. I have gotten the bag completely wet in a rainstorm. It dries because wool felt is, the sheep get wet. I tell people the sheep get wet and they dry.
Right, it's borderline indestructible. Yeah, show us the inside of that big backpack.
Okay. So this one has a zipper on the back.
I love the color of that zipper.
Yeah, we have an orange zipper, and you can pick all the colors. Everything is made in all colors. You can, when you order, you can decide what color felt, what color leather. Inside is a sleeve for your laptop and a zippered pocket. And then, of course, you have a zipper pocket on the back. And what's really cool is this very unique closure. I don't know if you can see this, looks like a button. It's magnetic, so you twist it, opens up, and you line it up, and it goes right back in.
I love that sound.
Yeah, it's I could do that all day.
So satisfying, yeah.
That's satisfying. And actually what's cool about this is it has a very low profile, meaning that, when you wear it.
Right, doesn't add a lot of bulk to you.
Yeah, it doesn't add a lot of bulk.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
What was your inspiration for making these?
Well, you're gonna, I don't know if you realize, for most women, when you're shopping for a handbag, sometimes you'll see something and you'll say, gosh, if it was just a little bigger, just a little smaller, if it had a bigger pocket. So most of these bags were made for me, and I actually test them out and make sure they work well. And that's not all of them, but a lot of them come from me wanting something. I need something bigger, I need something smaller, I need a backpack. I ride a bicycle around San Francisco, and that's where the backpacks, started. Recently, I've been walking every day as during our pandemic, and I realized I need something to hold my phone. So I made this is just one of a kind. I made this, I'm calling it a phone pocket, and has a little slip here for something, but I put my phone in here. And I've been wearing this every day when I walk, and seeing if it's something that, maybe someone else might, find helpful. Because I'm thinking if I'm finding it helpful, maybe someone else could find it helpful. But I only made one of these.
Having a meltdown in the background about how fantastic it is.
So,
it's
great. It's made of leather. It has a little felt lining and a little pocket. And I put my phone in here, and I put it over, and I'm out for my walk, and you can, and it seems to work. And I've shown a couple people, and they're like, I think that's a good idea, Audrey. So
I think
anyway,
it's a genius idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of my designs come from something that is for me. And then I do a lot of testing. That's why I've been wearing this little phone case for about 2 or 3 months to see, if it works, do I like it? Is it functional? Thank you.
Somebody made just a really cute comment. He said, the bowl for remotes can be used at Thanksgiving for everyone to deposit their cell phones in, so not to be used during dinner.
Oh, well, there you go.
Family time.
Exactly. So thank you very much.
We are going to move next to Monique Rancourt. There you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Monique Rancourt, and I'm here at my jewelry studio and gallery space, where I show my collection of jewelry as well as 30 plus other artists from all over the country. In fact, we've had Francesca's work here in the past. So, but a little bit about me. All of my work is hand fabricated from sterling silver and inspired by nature. So texture and form and repetition in nature. So you can see these organic forms combined with leather to give it a little bit of a contemporary edge. So it's a little bit of nature with a dash of rock and roll. Lately, I have been adding some color into the work by using stones, which is something I've never done before. It's always just been silver. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And this is one of my new favorite earrings. And there's a pattern cut out on the back. This is a necklace from my isopod series. And as you can see, it's where the isopod comes in. Much better on. So lots of earrings. Another one of my favorite is the convertible earring. So you can, this is a twofer. You can take the hoop off. Sorry. And just wear it with the stud or add a little bit extra with the hoop. And that can also be done with the stud that I'm wearing, so you can choose the top. So any of the pieces can be customized, different stones, different sizes. I usually go big, like we said before, go big or go home. Some hoops from the Oceanic Landscape series. Sorry, this is moving like crazy. So a lot of the textures that I do, they come from using heat. So I form all of these pods, solder them together, and then I go in and I heat it to get this organic edge. And then this one I added in a labradorite for some sparkle. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, a lot of rings. The leather cuff. So this has been a signature piece of mine for a number of years, but it has really evolved. Yes, very lightweight. It looks a lot heavier than it actually is. So I used to do this in a colored rubber, which Karla was wearing. I don't know if you noticed. And it's got this magnetic clasp, so it's super easy to get on. If you wear jewelry, you know bracelets are really tricky to get on when you're alone. So I do that version and then the one that I'm wearing. One of my favorites right now that is great. I'm going to take my earring off and try it for you with masks. I don't know about you guys, but I've been wearing one of those a lot lately. And this is fabulous because there's no backing on it. So when you pop your mask off, you're not going to pull your earring back and your earring goes flying. I've been replacing a lot of one earrings for that reason. Here's another new one, also from the Isopod series.
Can you hold
And
that
this
still
also,
for just a second? Can you hold that on the
yeah,
back still? The other side too. There you go. Now you can see the ice.
there we go. So
Thank
this also could be made convertible like I did with the hoop. So I just did a custom order for someone where she wanted a different top and she wanted to be able to wear the back or the front. So I just made it so that it could come off and she could choose which side was facing out. Although if you wear your hair up or you have short hair, you look great from both sides. Don't forget what's behind you, ladies.
Such a great motto. Look great on your way in and on your way out.
And here's the necklace, which is also reversible. So you can flip it to wear on either side. And I paired some of these with Kim Schulk. I know she did an art party recently. And her work is just so simple and tailored, which I think works well with my work because there is a lot of texture going on. So simple, tailored clothing with a little.
Is the piece on the green form easy to take off, or is that too?
Sure.
Someone just asked to take a look at that.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put it on for you, but I just need to take the one I have on off.
Which is also an incredible piece, by the way.
Thank
That's
you.
one of my favorites that you make.
Thank you.
Look at that.
It's pretty labor intensive. So each of these pieces is hammer formed on an anvil that I have that's from the 1800s. So it has a lot of pits in it. So all of the silver picks up the textures in the, you know, from the anvil.
It's so gorgeous.
I know when I bought that anvil, I thought that I would finish it. And then I realized that would be a mistake.
Right. Oh, wow.
I don't know if you can see where it's hanging down.
It's a belly
This
button.
also can be adjusted as far as length if you don't have as long of a torso as I do. So it can be easily shortened.
It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
You had mentioned to me previously that you were updating your website in a way to represent more of the work that was in your gallery. I think you said you were launching something soon. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So prior to COVID, I was, you know, running the gallery, doing craft shows, making jewelry. And honestly, I didn't really have a lot of time to get the website up to speed. So now that I have a little extra time without craft shows, I've been able to do a lot of the photography and editing. And we will be launching the more work from the Artisan Gallery on the website on Small Business Saturday, which is next weekend. So I will do a mailer about that, and we'll start small with a little bit, just jewelry. And then we're going to be adding to it as we go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Monique.
Thank you.
Really fun. We are going to scoot over to Scott. There you go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Scott. I live outside of Saratoga Springs, New York. Thank you for Art Party Central for inviting me to come out and talk with you all. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for showing up. So what I do is I play with glass. I take an unusual glass called borosilicate. You probably know Pyrex. It's like your dishware. It comes in solid glass rods. I start at room temperature, heat it over 3,000 degrees, and then I start adding different metals and minerals to the glass to give it color. Here's a bar of pure silver, 100 troy ounces. So what I'll do is I take a grinder and grind it down and get these little fine pieces and then trap it inside the glass. And when I do that, it creates all the stars in the galaxy. So each one of these little stars is actually a ball of pure silver or pure gold inside the glass that I've set in there and trapped it. And if you see the little gas clouds around it, it's changing that metal from a solid directly into a gas, and that gas is creating the color that you see. I also use a magical thing called dichroic, which is actually used for a lot of things. Here in New York City, the big thing is in the theater, the light. You can see the rainbow behind me. It's used to change the colors in lights. But it was never meant for art, but one of the scientists that developed it played with it in his studio, in his garage, and it started a revolution in glass. So this is a very fine crystal, but you can see when it's heated up, I break those crystals apart into little shards using the color and the space, the negative space, to create a flow inside the glass. But what I really like to play with are optics and physics. It's the curvature of the lens of this really clear borosilicate. It creates higher index of refraction. So the light's going to come in, bend, and it's going to make everything look bigger and deeper on the inside. Not only that, it's going to actually make it brighter. The light's coming in from 360 degrees. It's going all the way in. It has nowhere else to come out, but directly into your eye. And that makes it super bright. So I take all these different elements and then I kind of just play with textures and scenes. A lot of the spirals, I love playing with spirals. It's a continual theme, but it actually helps exaggerate that depth because you keep going around and around and around. So it takes your eyes a little longer to actually hit to the bottom, which is fun. Also, don't show the back too much. It probably shows black there, but if you look, you can see the sparkles. It's actually little fine pieces of metal trapped inside the black glass on the back. So when you get into the sauna, you have a very bright light and it's going to actually sparkle on the back as well. So I play with a lot of different things, but I guess space is kind of my main thing that I've been playing with lately over the last several years. I'm a big sci-fi fan. I love sci-fi books. I love sci-fi movies, just always a little bit in the back, but I'll show you a quick picture of the studio because I forgot to do that. This is the space. It's good for everybody to get an idea of the workshop. You can see torches, a couple stations, ventilation system, lots of kilns, lots of tools. And I needed quite a big space to be able to create all this stuff. It's very high temperatures. I'm talking the glass starts melting 1800 degrees. I heat it over 3000 degrees when I'm working with it. But again, back to the space theme. So this is a comets and planets piece. You can see the comet is a pure gold little piece that I nipped off a bar. And I heat that up, and I actually heat it up in a way that the metal is going to explode. It's going to change again from a solid directly into a gas, and that's going to create that color going across the scene. And now this one is done in layers. So I actually build up a clear, which is going to be my lens, put the gold in there, and then I do a layer, or what I call a window. And then I add a little something else, which is going to be one of those opal planets. That's a sphere cut opal inside there. And then I do another window, and then I added a little something else, and I do windows. So this one has about 3 or 4 different windows as you go back. And pretty soon you just look around and you get lost in space. It's pretty amazing that these simple little elements of pure precious metals will actually give you a pretty good feel of how we think or how we view space. So it's something that I've been really excited about doing. I love playing with it. And do you have a question for me?
I do. How did you learn how to do this? I mean, it seems incredibly complicated.
It's amazing. I blame it on my mom a lot. She, elementary school teacher, special ed teacher, and for me and my brother, she's
here, right? She's here on the party.
She always had craft projects for us to do, amazing art projects to do, craft projects. So it was ceramics, it was leather making, it was always all these different things. And it was the only thing I was really good at. I have a brother that's really good at science. Like he's an industrial hygienist. He's very smart in that way. And I was more, I just like to build and I like to play. And so when I went to college and university, it was her alumni. She got me in because my grades were pretty bad. But so I went there and I just started playing with more and more mediums. I played with photography. I played graphic art. I did graphic design with the drawing before the computers. It was all very fun. It was all very interesting. But when I left school, the only thing I pretty much didn't play with was glass. And I started playing with it, and it added all the elements to me together. Lens and light, like photography, color, like painting, 3-dimensional space, like the sculpture. It all kind of came into one little unit for me. Plus, I got to play with fire. It was like intense. It was bright. It was exciting. And it's a lot quicker than other things. Like I've tried metal smithing. I tried it was not so instant gratification. It was just really alive for me. And I haven't stopped in 25 years. I have so much equipment and so in depth, I can't stop. And I have so many more plans to do, so many more angles I want to go for. I got the tools, now it's just time. I just need more time to be able to create more things.
Yeah.
So,
Can you show us one of the really colorful ones? We had a request.
The dichroic ones, this one is, again, that crystallized metal. This is neat because you get the pinks, kind of like Francesca was saying about the blues for paper. Well, for glass, it's red. Red is the hardest color to mimic because it's the shortest wavelength of light. It's the first one. It's the very small one. So anytime you try to do red, it's very fine. So there's little chance of error. So this one, you can see purples and pinks going from greens to golds to blue. It's the full rainbow of color.
So.
And it only gets better. This is indoor lighting. I always like to tell people, take them out for a walk. New York, you don't get that sun. Like I'm from New Mexico originally. You get sun, California, wonderful place for sun. but you take them outside and the sun goes in there, and it's going to intensify what's ever in there. You intensify the depth, but you also intensify the color and the feel. So the more light you give them, the better.
We did have one other question, which was about the base. Does it comes with a base to sit on? And
it does. They all come with a base, or else they would just roll. So
and can someone choose their base, or do you choose the base?
They can talk to me about that. I'm working on a lot of different bases. I just had a client from the Philly show. She had, I made rotating bases for a while. I got it really into that. And so she got me to go into those again. So I'm working on that. I would like a wood lathe, because I had some wood lathe ones made, were different designs, and they were fun, but they weren't built quite right. So I cut my own wood. I have acreage, and I got some nice cherry wood. I would like to actually lathe and make my own stands. So hopefully that's coming out, and they'll rotate and move, but
cool.
Working on that.
And just the last question, do you do FaceTime or Zoom appointments?
I will. I meet with clients all the time when possible. I'm always working. So I've set up Zoom. This is kind of the first time actually doing it, but
you do great.
It's available. I FaceTime. iPhone people is great because FaceTime is so easy. Anything, but I'm always around, and I love to help people find what they need and what they like. And I love when they challenge me, like the base. Oh, I want a rotating base. The more excited you get, the more excited I get about what I do. So I love the enthusiasm. So challenge me, bring it on, and just show me how much you want it.
Fantastic. Thank you. And there were other questions in the chat. We'll get to those a little later on. But for now, we're going to head over to Meghan Patrice Riley. Thank you, Scott.
Hello, welcome. That was awesome. I love all the science part. I am Meghan Patrice Riley, and I own Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry, NPR Jewelry, and I am based in Brooklyn, New York for the last 10 years. I do kind of crazy, different contemporary art jewelry, but I also blend it with really traditional techniques and traditional themes I think of, like gold, pearls, silver, gemstones, but in a really contemporary style with really interesting materials. So I'm going to show you a couple pieces I've been working on and kind of give you a little lay of the land. This is kind of how I work. I work a lot with stainless steel cables. So I use this little fine cable that I almost draw with in a way. I love linear lines. I do draw a lot actually. And I use that to inform how I then build these structures in space out of miniature cables. So this is actually a really, really fine wire, it looks like, but it's actually cable that's built of 49 miniature wires of stainless steel that are woven together, and then are 24 karat yellow gold plated. And then I get a clear coat of nylon over that. So it gives it this woven, textured, soft, drapey feel, but it holds its shape and form. So I can squish it and it bounces back and has memory. It has tensegrity, which is tensile strength with integrity. So this is how suspension bridges are fabricated. I think a lot about the world around me, and I look at how things are made. And so I draw a lot of inspiration from cable that I would see this almost like at an electronics store. They have these as anti-theft devices, and I've seen them holding up electrical rigging. And this idea I found and adapted to fine jewelry. So this is a larger version of that steel cable, and it gets really, really big. This is what suspension bridges are made. Next time you look at like the Golden Gate Bridge, you'll see these big cables, they're all woven. When you weave something, it gives it this, really this softness and lightness, which is wonderful. I actually brought another piece. I've been working on a lot of different collections during COVID. I was not in the studio for 3 months. We were pretty locked down in New York. So I pulled out my crochet and knitting needles, and I've been taking stainless steel chain, which is something completely different, and transforming it and getting it to be soft and drape and think about that body again. This is all done by hand. This is hand knit, black powder coated stainless steel dog tag chains with gunmetal. then I dripped on these like tourmalinated quartz, like little fringe. I always love a little sparkle. I think there's just something really fun about them. I like gemmy colors to come in with my pieces. I also have been taking things that I find. So this is all these gemstones that were kind of orphaned from different pieces floating around the studio. And I found a home for them. I made them almost into this charm bracelet of gem memory. So this is a huge dog tag chain that I sourced in Rhode Island. So I take a lot from materials like this is like kind of like electrical chain or pull chain, plumbing chain. But I think about transforming it and using it and elevating some these everyday materials with gems and gold and silver and then design, honestly, bringing beautiful design. So this I actually is convertible. It's short. This is from the Sea Change collection. And so this is one of those pieces that is super one of a kind. I just did this and launched it. So it has a clasp here and a detachable bracelet, which is hand crocheted miniature chain over the next size of chain next to the bigger chain. So I love all this, bringing some thinking about scale and how I can make it kind of move into different designs and feels. This is really soft feeling and has really nice drape. Yeah. I love how, I really do think about how things work and how to wear things. I've been thinking a lot about from here up, how to blend bigger earrings with these shorter necklaces and not be competing. Because I think this is really important to beautify right now. And I've been doing a lot of bigger earrings with dangle. These are from my classic collection. These are the aerial hooks. Again, with these little touches of color. These are tourmalines, pink and green tourmalines, faceted sparkles. So I love gemstones and the gold and the cable and blending it all together and finding kind of a balance. So it's not all gems, not all metal, it's just this wonderful sparkle all blends together and honestly it catches the eye and it flatters the face. It's really comfy. I love this.
You know what's caught my eye, which is something new on the back wall here, is this flower necklace. Tell me about this necklace.
You know, I really I experimented a lot because I didn't have access to fire. Usually we make all these ear hooks and all the little fastenings, everything in-house, and then build the cable on it. So I didn't have all that access. So I started building from, again, the world around me. These are zip ties. I actually brought
zip tie necklaces.
Yeah, I brought what it came from. This turned into this. So I sculpted it again with all these little connections and then gold gilded this beautiful flower. And then I created this like fun detachable, it's a brooch. And this chain comes off, it has two clasps and is a mass chain and is a converter to make this into a neck piece.
Always thinking.
I like things that you can work. They are workhorses. They can do many things for you.
And zip ties last forever. That's the whole point about them. So like, that's an indestructible piece right there.
Again, I love that blending and finding, and it's soft too. It has a little give and finding the sculptural forms within that. And it's all these cold connections in metal smithing terms. I do a lot of textiles. I bring textiles and blend it with the metals. And I think I adapted this to this was just so out of the blue, but it was really fun. It's like drawing for me.
Right.
I'm going to use a lot of these motifs.
She said, what about a hair clip for that? That would be really
cool. I do. Yeah.
Did you make them?
Yes. That's next. Honestly, that's beautiful. I love that idea.
Well, we know you make crowns with them, so that's super fun.
Yeah, we have lots of crowns. We did a really fun exhibit and we've been fundraising a lot during COVID, because I think it's really important to be aware of what's happening in the world and to give back a little bit. And so we've been fundraising through our collections, which has been amazing. Been able to fund Crafting the Future, and here we are through New York City Jewelry Week.
Love that. Thank you for doing that. You also, I feel like I've seen some like jewelry pairings, maybe some gift pairing
Yeah.
options.
Well, I did bring some kind of like new favorites. I was also bringing some pieces I've been doing like this. This has been a really popular piece, but then I've been blending in these extenders. So I have these extenders. I think these are really fun.
So smart.
You can add them to their neck piece to make them a little longer. So I love this necklace. This is my Ariel necklace with pearls. I think pearls are going to be, sorry, it's a little bit hard to see. Pearl.
They're like the earrings you have on, but with pearls.
Yeah, everything has a lot of movement, but the pearls and gold, I think anything in that combo, I think a pendant, something shorter is great. I've been doing these extenders so you can get multiple lengths out of your pieces.
It's the beauty of those rare
Magnets.
Magnets.
Yeah, they're like these rare earth magnets that are miniature but mighty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
I mean,
engineering.
watching you like take a necklace off and throw it on the counter and knowing that it's just gonna like show back up exactly as you started it with is just always so fun for me. You just
Me too. And I like them on the fridge actually as my magnets. And then my other customer just brought this up where they've been blending the extenders, taking a long necklace and making it into a short necklace.
That looks
Using
great.
the little extenders that way. I thought that was really smart too. And
I love it.
getting new looks. Yeah. I love how people invent. It's like a fidget toy. And there's so much imagination beyond what I ever intended. And what a joy.
Well, that's the beauty of that product that you're making it out of, is that you can do whatever with it. So smart work.
Thank you.
Smart and beautiful.
Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of the artists for sharing your stories with us and showing your incredible work. We also wanted to, all of the artists and myself wanted to thank everybody who joined us today. And before we draw the 6 raffle prizes, we wanted to let you know how much we appreciate you. You are why the artists make their work in the first place. So many of you recognize the challenges that the artisans are facing without the shows, and you've asked us how to help. Well, the easiest way to help artists and small businesses, if you've fallen in love with the art parties, is to come back again and again and to tell your friends, spread the word, bring anyone you think would appreciate learning about handmade. We are loving having this platform to connect again and can't wait to see it grow with your help. The other thing you can do is stay in touch with your new artist friends. That's all of the artists you saw today. Reach out to them, email them, follow them on social media, like, share. It all means the world to them, and it's part of what the inspiration, it keeps them full and makes them want to continue to move on. So just wanted to spread that love to you as well and say thank you for all of your support. Now the mushy stuff is out of the way. Let's celebrate and choose the winners of the $50 gift certificates. We're going to choose one winner from each of the artist websites randomly from everyone on the party. We encourage you to unmute yourselves and cheer for the winners. It's so much more fun that way.
Yes.
So let me grab my little list that my fabulous co-host just sent to me. And thank you, ma'am. And let's get this going. So the winner of our first gift certificate, which is for Karla Gudeon Art and Design.
Yay!
Gail Group.
Gail Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lucky girl.
Okay, our next one is for Francesca Vitali Paper Jewelry, and the winner of that is June Stahl. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're a winner, please put your name and email address in the chat. That's the only way we're going to know how to send you your gift certificate.
It's so fun to see the faces. Sorry,
I know,
Laura.
right?
No.
So fun. So please put your email in the chat. Thank you. Sorry, back to the fun stuff. The third winner is for AudreyModern, which is Pam and Jeff. I'm going to butcher this last name. Kawajuchi. Audrey, is that another family member? Is it?
Good, that's good.
We actually have a second winner for AudreyModern because her cousin won the 2:30 party and wanted to offer it to somebody else. So that person is a second winner for AudreyModern is James Allen.
Woo! 7 gifts today.
So the winner of Monique Rancourt jewelry is, my husband's calling, please ignore, is Carol Zinman. Internal Fire Glass, the winner of his gift certificate is Jane Goldberg. And finally, the final gift certificate goes to Meghan Patrice Riley Jewelry, and that is to Nancy Pert.
Okay.
And again, if you could all put your name and email address in the chat for us. If you're uncomfortable sending it out to everybody, you can send it to the admin, and we will make sure to get you your gift certificate. So we also want everyone to leave feeling like they've won something. So you will all receive a coupon code for 10% off at all 6 of these makers' websites. And the code will be good from today through November 28th. So head on over to their websites and do some retail therapy or find some great gifts for holidays or for yourself, whatever. The coupon code for today's party is ArtParty1121, which we're going to put in the chat. ArtParty1121. And we will send a follow-up email to everyone with this code with links to the artist websites and the code from today. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Happy Saturday. This was so much fun. And we do have more parties coming up next week and more parties as we get through into the holiday season. Next week, we have 2 days of parties, which is 4 parties. We'll be back on Thursday and Saturday next week. I also wanted to just give another thank you shout out to my co-host, Sam Stone from Swan & Stone Millinery. You may not have seen her, but she was in the background making sure everything ran smoothly and did a great job. So check out her website as well, swanandstone.com, for fantastic hats. I think I can speak for all the artists by saying you all rock. We really miss seeing you all in person, but this has been such a great way to stay connected. And with that said, we have a few minutes left and we'd love to say hi. So we encourage you all to unmute yourselves and we can ask additional questions and try on some things and feel free, chat away.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
It's been so fun.
I know we had more questions about trying some stuff.
Thank you for all you do. I loved it.
Oh, that makes us so happy.
Yes, thank you so much.
Karla, can I see the frames for your work?
Sure, they're all wood Italian moldings and everything is hand finished. So I'll just show you a couple. I have this, which is gold. I have white. I have mahogany. This one is a great 2-inch wide. It has, I'm not going to pull that up because I'll drop it because that's how I am. But here's the smaller one. Who have experience. So I really try and tell a whole story with the work so that when you look at it, it makes a visual statement from soup to nuts. There's simpler ones like the silver one on the tree there. And I love working directly. We could do FaceTime, we could do Zoom, we could do email, and I can go back and forth and send you pictures of different choices because no piece is married to its frame forever. I like a complicated.
Oh, and Karla, you have the one that you can switch. I love that idea.
Oh, yeah. So that's for my prints. These are for my reproduction prints, which are great holiday gifts. It's called Art Your Way. And these are magnetic sticks that hold these prints. So the really cool thing is you could buy one set of sticks and one print, but then you could get the Tree of Life print or the Hamsa print behind me or a Ruth Bader Ginsburg print. And you can just switch it out as your mood strikes you, so you don't have to live with the same piece forever.
These are cool.
So smart.
Turn it around.
What, Scott?
I was going to say, if you just put both the pieces of paper front to back on in the magnets, those things are easy to just turn around. You wouldn't even have to switch them out. You just flip
So
them.
Scott, your brain is better than mine, but yes, that is. And
Is
the,
the
Such artists
magnet
in a room.
strong enough?
and the other thing is, I wish you were here because now I can't rehang that piece because I'm also way shorter than any other artist on this platform, I think.
Agree.
But you're cute as a button. So I know that was felt dirty. Sorry.
All right, well, this is my handy dandy tool, so
Oh,
I'm
I love that.
I know there were more questions for
gonna
Scott.
sit up on my
I have
chair.
a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
So what was the biggest piece you have ever done?
Oh, 9 inches in diameter. I'll show you. I have, well, this is one of the biggest ones, but I'll have to show it to you because this is what I usually don't show people.
Whoa.
This is a big
Oh
one,
my
but this is what
gosh.
happens when
Whoa.
you don't anneal right.
Boom, you have to say
That's
this.
after this, this is 12 hours at 3,000 degrees, but when you don't anneal it
You have
right,
a red dot in the middle. What's the?
yeah, that's the opal. That's the opal inside there. But see the fractures around it?
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can make stuff, but you got to figure out how to get it back to room temperature. So this right here is a 9-inch. It's bigger than a bowling ball, believe it or not, heavier.
That's big.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh? How much?
Yeah,
Well,
how
the
much does that weigh?
borosilicate is heavier.
Yeah, you're talking. This is a 2.5-inch, and well.
Yeah, maybe don't hurt your wrist.
Huge difference. Huge.
Wow. That is cool.
And so is that I can't imagine that's one session.
Oh yeah.
Is it multiple layers or it is all one session?
It has to be all at once. Yep.
Wow.
Once you start with you're getting the core heat. It's borosilicate. It's a poor conductor of heat, so it doesn't transfer through. The heat doesn't like to go through. So you're talking core heat compared to outside heat. It's almost like the Earth, the planets. Like our core of our Earth is really hot, but the surface keeps changing from either cold to hot. And it's the same thing with the glass. The thing is to even it out. So when I heat it up, I have to keep the momentum of that heat during the whole process. So yeah, it's interesting. But when you work really hot, when it's 250 degrees, you don't get that hungry. You just get thirsty. So I can literally drink a couple gallons of water during the whole process just to make sure I stay hydrated, and I just sweat it all out. It's kind of a detox time. Winter's my detox.
Wow.
So I also work seasonally. So in the winter right now, I'm ramping up. My work's getting bigger and bigger over the cold months. And then when it gets hot outside, my work will get smaller and smaller.
I've been curious about this. Do you work by yourself? Do you have?
I always have. I'm stubborn that way. I don't share well tools. I've worked hard. I love my tools. And another thing my mom helped me with is very self-reliant. I don't know anything, but I figure it out eventually. So I've always worked hard to do it. Or the other way, school of hard knocks. It's just trial and error. If I want it, I figure it out. And it's just been better. But you can see the work is different. And it's because I didn't learn from somebody. I made up my own thing. And it's been a benefit. It's hard at first. It's harder, but you just learn more. You learn it differently. You learn more from that. And I am very fortunate for the way I came into it and where I'm at, I feel.
Wow. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Sure.
I think all artists have a little bit of what I don't even think it's a real thing. I don't know if it is or isn't, but of what I've called ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder, that somebody says go right, we want to go left. You know, and
that's what did you say it is? ODD?
Oppositional defiance disorder. In other words,
That's
if
what I
somebody
got.
says do this, we do
I
the
have it.
opposite.
Well, as the administrator of multiple
Definitely have that.
arts organizations, I'd like to say some negative things to you for saying that. I'm the person that gets to wrangle all of these ODD
The
people.
cats.
I think Karla got it from her father.
I believe it, 100%.
There we go.
He's a great trumpet player. Does anybody else have other questions?
I just want to thank everyone for sharing their talents.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Thank you for making this the closest thing to craft shows to in person. It's so much fun. I mean,
Well, this is because we've been going through craft show withdrawal, so this is helping us.
so do you feel like it's similar to a craft show? It gives the same. I mean, from an artist point of view, it's not that far. You know, at least I can see you rather than on Instagram. But what about you? As a person going to a craft show, does it feel like very similar experience?
It's similar. It's just that when you are at the craft show, you can touch and feel things.
Yeah.
And that's the tactile part that, of course, we miss here. But I love the fact that you're showing us and moving with them. So, but I love the necklace you have on. I'd love to see that again.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. So this one is so all the pieces are independently moving actually, and there's just one little link that connects all of them, and it looks like it's closed, but then you just open it up and close it, and then because they are all moving independently, you can separate and make it wider or more. I like it well, especially if I have if I want to draw attention on this.
Right.
So I like them all like this, but like if I'm wearing, like, let's say a white shirt, like a t-shirt, like not a t-shirt, white, then I like it more wider. So this is like a similar design to this. This is a new version, and this one is the more classical version. So it's a little lighter than this one, but yeah.
Francesca, can you put on the blue one again? The blue one, yeah, the blue one at the top. Yeah, that one.
Good, that blue one.
That black and gold one too, right there.
Yeah,
and those black and gold earrings.
That one is actually
like,
kind of, it became kind of a classical.
Yes,
absolutely.
Can you hold the necklace up to the camera so you can see the on the blue? You can see how the So you can't.
How many folds? So a necklace like this is about, I want to say, more than 5,000 folds. Because so each line that you see, it's one paper.
Yeah, no, you can't see that till you get up close to the camera, and then you go, oh my God.
Yeah,
and she does every single fold.
Yes.
Right. You got in your studio. Because she is a chemist. You have this wall. Because she builds every one. You can see is a different structure. I'm gonna nerd out on this.
Oh, you want to see it?
Every one is a different structure. Yes, every one is a different structure, and she has it. She has all the patterns and samples of every single weave structure she's built.
The scientist in me needs some.
I love it. I agree.
Oh,
you guys, it's the best thing ever.
So and each one as a label. So every time I make a new weave, so I'm also self-taught. So weaving it's not a thing that I know because somebody taught me. So I just have to I just try, and it's just so every time I have a piece of paper, and my kids always make fun of me because if I have a piece of paper in my hands, it will be folded. No, that's the thing. And so actually my birthday was last week, and you know what they gave me? 2 big packs of construction paper, and they were like, so you can have fun and make some more work, Mama. I actually didn't have the guts to tell.
Francesca, can you tell me what's on the blue one? What's inside to keep it?
It's a stainless steel wire, super strong, but also really small, and it retains. It's like a memory wire, so it goes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You know, June, what I wanted to say is what we're sacrificing because we have to in not having the tactile experience of being able to touch the work. For me as an artist participating in these parties, what I'm gaining is, you know, it's one thing to bond with the other artists at the shows and then you go out to dinner afterwards, but you don't always hear them talk about their work because while they're talking about their work in their booth, we're in ours. so this is a gift to me to get to hear like more about each artist's backstory and see how they make it. It's very exciting as somebody who was on the inside but still never had these experiences. So it's a trade-off, but there are different benefits to.
And also,
my
I've
friend.
seen these shows before. I've been to other, and I always see something different, something new. Like, for example, Audrey, Audrey, I need one.
Yes.
That thing was like,
Yeah.
We all need that. Agree.
I'm an
Yeah.
iPhone crazy person. And so do you do them in black and red? Because
Well, I can do them. I haven't done, I don't know. I've only made one. And so I can do it in any color. I just haven't done, this is a test case. I did one for myself.
oh well, when you do the next one,
Put it
I
into
so
now.
I'm a black person, red and black.
Yeah, I need one in black or brown.
There you go. Well,
Ooh, yeah, that'd be nice. Very clean.
I'm working on it. I'll work on it.
Karla, backing up to what you said, even at craft shows, when we go as consumers, we don't often take the time to learn as much about each one of you as artists. We look at your work, but you're busy with people, we're busy running in, we're looking, whatever. This is great to really get to know more about how you got into what you do and more about who you are as people, which is wonderful.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree.
Yeah. Well, for me as an artist, all I got to meet was the person in front of me and the person next to me, or maybe the people in my aisle. I have met more artists during COVID, and I have made more friends because of the different formats. I've met all these new artists. I would never have met these people. I go to shows and they're like, oh, I was at that show. I'm like, oh, I never saw you. I never saw anybody but the person in front of me and the people on the side of me. So this during COVID, I think the silver linings, I've got to meet so many more artists.
Yeah, that's totally true. And actually, of the 6 people that are in this call, I was a neighbor only once with Meghan. And we were across
we were across at PMA. Yeah,
we have never been neighbors.
Yeah, but we also live in cities next to each other.
Yes. I mean, we discovered a lot of connections.
We both live in New York, but we both lived in Orange County, California at the same time.
We were almost neighbors.
Yeah.
We didn't
it's
know.
Really weird. Like where I played tennis is where she lived. Anyways.
hilarious.
You know,
So Monique's phone is going to die. So if anybody has any questions for Monique, now is the time.
Can we see? Okay. More earrings. I want to see the earrings we saw earlier, and I know there's another pair I wanted to see on our table. Possible?
Oh, this one?
I can't see you. Hold on.
I can't see them.
Where'd she go?
Can you see that?
Did she do?
Oh yeah, those. I like those.
And they're super light.
Right?
Super light. Am I cutting out on you guys? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Hi.
Better, yeah. And the gigantic rings match, yes. I like those. I feel like people would wear those. Yeah. Well, those are actually super. They're hollow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like nothing. Like I wear this in the studio hammering metal. Occasionally I have to take it off because it gets in the way. But it's not due to the weight. It's all a lot lighter.
But I like that you're fully dressed in your outfits. Fully dressed in jewelry.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right?
True.
Always. Wait, what about the one on the white? I like that you paired it with the Kim Chalk. I think it matches well. Yeah, that one.
This one.
That kind of matches those earrings a little bit. It has some teardrop.
Same series here. I'll put it on for you.
Do you want to just hand that necklace to me?
Yeah, right? Everything feels like sea creature-y. Like this is like so sea creature-y, right?
Yes, everything is inspired
I like that.
Oh yeah.
By textures from the ocean and the woods.
Yeah, it's giving me what are they called? Never mind.
And this is a rough quartz, same as the ring I'm wearing actually.
So you have a different design in the back of that one, like the earrings?
Yeah.
This one, a little bit.
Like
But this
that.
is one of the first ones that I did with a stone. And then so it's growing and evolving.
Yeah, how is it working with the stones? I think the colors you're choosing are very neutral though, and very marine-like.
They are. It's so bright for me.
They're very blue, labradorite, blue.
I am
aquamarine.
really drawn to the blues. Well, first I was like, okay, if I'm going to use stones, they're only going to be black. And then I started using the blue. But I recently bought some garnet, and they're really bright orange. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, that's crazy for me. I am not a color.
I could see deep wine colored garnets too, with the oxidized metal, kind of like McQueen, a little palette.
Yep.
Yeah, so
white.
some kind of red earrings are coming in your way, because you know, I collect red earrings.
Red, doubtful.
What was that?
I'm a shameful red earring collector, and so if somebody makes red earrings, I have to have them.
Oh, red.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to
I
be
personally
red.
don't
No,
have
it doesn't have to be
but we
red.
have lots of red in the gallery.
It could be anything between pink to orange. I'm open to any on that. Yeah, I'm spending.
The opposite spectrum of Monique, I think.
Shari, you were going to ask a question.
I wasn't going to ask a question. I was going to make a comment that while I miss being at the art shows and picking things up and touching things, two comments. First of all, I find this better for my brain because it's spoon fed to me one artist at a time. Otherwise, I feel like I'm distracted by everything going on around me. And second of all, I love and I feel very privileged that we can see inside your studios where you work, which is something we can't see at the art shows.
So true.
I think it gives really good context.
It's a big part of what happens and what it takes, and seeing it, it's almost like seeing in your native environment. You know, like we're animals or something, but it's
yeah, and while I might have
happens.
And while I might appreciate the art, which I do on its own merits, once you see the effort and the commitment, like how much actually has to go into making it gives you this whole extra layer of appreciation, for me at least.
Oh, no, for me too. For me too. Yeah, definitely.
For me
There's
too.
also, go ahead, Scott.
Well, just seeing Francesca's board with all the different things, the different layers, it means so much more. You see all that, Meghan's, how many wires go into that one little thing? It's just, oh, okay, yeah, I've known her for years too. I didn't know all that. Yeah, there are more layers. It's the more you know, the more you can appreciate, and the more you hold on to it, the more it means to you.
Yeah, everybody's earrings are so great. I'm thinking of piercing my ears.
You don't have to.
We're for you. We're supportive.
Clip-ons. You don't have to.
The clip-ons.
Clip-ons.
I love this new color palette, Francesca. It feels like patinaed brass.
Yeah,
that beautiful, like that's very natural, very different for you.
So imagine what I discovered after I don't know how many years working with paper, that I can paint paper. I didn't realize that I could do that.
You are
So
the cutest thing that ever.
oh, I can add color to paper, which is something that I've never done before. And I'm like, whoa, okay. COVID has sparkled many ideas.
We have a painting session. I could paint with you and you could fold with me, and
there we go.
I definitely could see you incorporating watercolor beautifully.
You know, I've been researching acrylic color so much because I don't know. I mean, I don't come from an art background, so I've been watching a lot of YouTube about different color. I love. Let me show you this. I don't know if you see, but this iridescent, and this is a word I can't say. Iridescent. I don't know if
iridescent.
Iridescent.
Iridescent. I know.
So see the quality of this. So it's kind of, you almost see the color on the background, and then if the light hits it, and then you see more of the color. I love it. I love it.
It would also be really cool if somebody had like their child's project. You know, you're a parent and you have like 4,000 pieces of your kid's art. But what are you gonna do with them? Like, how amazing to make earrings out of it.
Okay, so this is the thing. All the teachers, all my kids' teachers get at the end of the year, instead of a gift card, they get a piece of art from my kids. So they draw something, I cut it, and I make into earrings.
I love it.
Oh, that's great.
I want you to do my divorce papers for me because it's the best gift I ever get myself.
I'll do it.
And I could wear my divorce on my ears. I would be thrilled.
That is.
You don't want it in like in a little urn? Like my other one.
Wear it. It would be my own little,
No,
thing.
absolutely. It's yeah.
That's
Big
wonderful.
big earrings.
Statement earrings.
Well, thank
You
you.
should also bet that for you, Karla.
What were you saying, Monique? I lost her.
Yeah, we lost her.
Yeah.
That wall,
You
that
can
mug
bezel set that
display
into
back
something.
there.
Oh, there she is.
I have a question for Karla. Does she,
Yeah?
does Karla make her own paper?
I don't, but I work directly with my handmade paper maker, and it's made from jute, which is a plant-based product that they also make rope out of, rice straw, and one of my favorites papers I don't do as many pieces on it is garlic skin, but I actually do my favorite piece on garlic skin. Can I show it to you quickly?
Do you have a paper that is made of garlic skin?
I'm going to show it to you. It has
It's like Renaissance or medieval style or something.
Okay, so like, this is my favorite piece I've ever designed. It's called Lilith and Eve in Eden. So there's a biblical legend that before Eve, there was a woman created that wasn't created from Adam's rib, but she was created as Adam's equal.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
And Lilith, and he doesn't like it. So he has Lilith banished. And according to the legend, she becomes a children-eating demon. But feminists have taken back the figure. And that's why years ago, I don't know if you remember.
Lilith's Fair.
There was the Lilith Fair, because it was like, so in my wanting to illustrate Lilith, I was like, well, I'm not going to put her with Adam because he was a freaking asshole to her. I was like, I think I think Lilith and Eve would get together, they'd bond, they'd make fun of Adam together, and they'd have a good old time. So this is my Lilith and Eve in Eden, and the green paper in the background is the garlic skin handmade paper.
Oh,
cool.
What kind of paper do you use for your posters that you hang with the magnetic?
That's just a regular archival paper. It's just a reproduction paper. It's not one of the handmade sheets because that is reproduced off a machine.
And do you spray a fixer on it after you?
No, neither needs it. My handmade papers are acid-free, which most handmade papers are not, but I make sure they're archival, and I actually have a pH balancing spray that and a tester pen, so I can double check that so nothing's going to disintegrate. But the posters are not designed either price point wise or they don't. I love the designs. I don't want to diss my own work, but it doesn't have the same energy or that I put into even, the very little ones, which are all hand painted on the handmade actual paper. And I love showing the torn edge, so you see the rough edge too of the handmade papers.
So the posters are not,
they're pure reproductions. Yeah, they're not handmade.
They're not hand painted.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Karla, I have one of your original hand done of the Tree of Life, and I love it, and I get comments on it all the time, and it is very central to my living room, and it's a wonderful, wonderful piece.
Well, that makes me so happy. More and more I've been thinking about trees of life because I've always painted them. And there's liturgy behind it, that it's a tree of life to all who hold fast to it, and all who hold fast to it are happy. But in recent years, I've gone away from that. And the personal meaning to me of my trees is that we're rooted and then we branch out and reach for the stars. But those trunks that I've always done, which are twisted, to me represents all of life's twists and turns, of which there are many, and then we emerge.
And we hold fast to that Tree of Life now more than ever.
Absolutely.
And it's another symbol that I love because it's not specific to any one culture. It features in so many. And I think, in this world with so much xenophobia, that it's time we all embrace the more global aspects of what we share.
Right. Thank you all for joining us today. We again will have 2 more days of parties next week in between Thanksgiving. We're going to take that day off, but we do give thanks for all of you and hope that you all have a good day, either with or apart from your family. But thank goodness for Zoom. I'll be Zooming to my family. And we hope to see you again soon. We will send out that email. These fingers send out that email after the party. So
Thank you very much, Art Party. Thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank you. We really appreciate the support.
Yes.
And we like this part
A
as
lot.
much as the party part. This is great.
Yeah. Thank
Can
you.
you tell we don't want to go?
It's Saturday night. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Sherry.
Bye, Sherry. Bye, kid.
Bye, Pop Art.
Bye, Pop Art.
Bye-bye.
Bye, NPR. Bye, Laura. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're my new crush.
Hi, Samantha.
Bye.
Get in line, Sherry.
Thank you.
Hey, I've got a couple of attributes that are worth, that are worth something. I don't know. I think
For anyone that doesn't know, Shari is in Hawaii, and Shari and I have been friends for 45 years.
Oh, okay. Because I was seeing the light behind you. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And she's a geriatrician, so she's no slouch. She runs the geriatrics department at the biggest hospital in Oahu. So I'm just like tooting her.
Oh,
Slouch.
I just had a customer in Hawaii. She's
Pop Art
starting
stop
a place
working?
in Hawaii.
Well, she didn't get him to stop working, but tonight she was able to give me the argument that made him agree to quit tennis until the numbers come back. So
Good.
that's Shari.
Thank you.
Well, until the surge is over, no indoor tennis with people like huffing and puffing and yeah.
Well, you'll have to send me that argument to send to my husband. So
He plays indoors?
yes,
Oh, wow.
and pays an arm and a leg for it too.
No, not until this next surge, is over.
So how are things in Hawaii, actually?
We're pretty good. We're
Okay.
pretty good. We're bracing for the next surge though, because we're gonna get a lot of tourists and they're gonna bring a lot of COVID in, even though they're supposed to get tested before they come.
Yeah, but if you're tested on day 5 of your exposure, you can be positive on day 14, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So,
people traveling. It's so weird.
yeah, people here wear masks. People here are pretty good. We don't have as many, I'm just gonna say it, wackadoodles. And then we have a lot of outdoor activities because we still have gorgeous weather. So it's a little bit safer, but my hospital still has about 40 patients in it right now. And we expect we'll go up to about 120.
Wow.
Again, like we did at the last surge.
Well, you stay safe, Miss Thing.
Yeah, and thank you for being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're good. We're careful.
Good. Hopefully this kind of thing brings a little joy into those really hard times.
Lovely. This was lovely. This was the antidote to just look at things that are beautiful and interesting and creative. It was great.
Thanks, Sherry.
Mhm.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
You guys, bye.